So this is logical. And the problem is, like I said, when I've talked to Mark Andreessen and many other people, they think this is just fear-mongering. We'll be fine. This is worst case scenario. We'll be fine.
What I'm about to show you is one of the most sobering conversations about AI risks I've ever heard. This is Roman Yampolsky, a leading AI safety researcher, explaining to Joe Rogan why 30% of machine learning experts believe AI could destroy humanity, breaking down the specific ways superintelligence could eliminate human control, and revealing why even the best case scenarios might not be what we want. I'm going to show you why Roman's safety concerns actually validates Palantir's AI approach, explain how his control problem insights reveal why human in-the-loop systems matter, and break down what this means for companies deploying AI responsibly versus recklessly. Let's dive into this eye-opening conversation.
It is worst case scenario, but that's standard in computer science, in cryptography, in complexity, in computability. You're not looking at best case. I'm ready for the best case. Give me utopia. I'm looking at problems which are likely to happen. And it's not just me saying it. We have Nobel Prize winners, Turing Award winners, all saying this is very dangerous, 20-30% P-doom. This is standard in industry. 30% is what surveys of machine learning experts are giving us right now.
So what is worst case scenario? Like, how could AI eventually lead to the destruction of the human race?
So you can asking me how I would kill everyone.
Sure.
And it's a great question. I can give you standard answers. I would talk about computer viruses, breaking into maybe nuclear facilities, nuclear war. I can talk about synthetic biology, nanotech. But all of it is not interesting when you realize we're talking about superintelligence, a system which is thousands of times smarter than me. It would come up with something completely novel, more optimal, better way, more efficient way of doing it. And I cannot predict it because I'm not that smart.
I need to pause here because Roman just explained the most important concept about AI safety that everyone needs to understand. He's talking about superintelligence being thousands of times smarter than humans, saying it would come up with completely novel ways to cause harm that we can't even predict. This is exactly why Palantir's approach to AI is so smart. They're not trying to build superintelligence, they're building AI tools that humans control and understand. While other companies race towards artificial general intelligence, Palantir focuses on augmenting human decision-making rather than replacing it. This approach isn't just ethical, it's good business because it avoids the existential risks that Roman is warning about. Quick shout out, over the past month, I've had calls with all kinds of businesses who found me through this channel. Turns out, way more business owners are watching than I realized. If you're one of them and you think YouTube could help your growth, whether through your own channel or by leveraging this one, book a call or email me using the links in the description. Let's see what we can build together.
Jesus.
That's exactly what it is. We basically setting up an adversarial situation with agents which are like squirrels versus humans. No group of squirrels can figure out how to control us.
Right.
Even if you give them more resources, more acorns, whatever, they're not going to solve that problem. And it's the same for us. And most people think 1 or 2 steps ahead. And it's not enough. It's not enough in chess. It's not enough here. If you think about AGI and then maybe superintelligence, that's not the end of that game. The process continues. You'll get superintelligence creating next level AI. So superintelligence plus plus, 2.0, 3.0, it goes on indefinitely. You have to create a safety mechanism which scales forever, never makes mistakes, and keeps us in decision-making position so we can undo something if we don't like it.
And it would take superintelligence to create a safety mechanism to control superintelligence.
At that level. And it's a catch-22. If we had friendly AI, we can make another friendly AI. So if like aliens send us one and we trust it, then we can use it to build local version which is somewhat safe.
Hold on. Roman just made a crucial point about the control problem that every AI company should be thinking about. He's explaining once you create superintelligence, you need to be super intelligent to control superintelligence, which creates an impossible catch-22. Again, this is why Palantir's human-in-the-loop approach is so valuable. They're not trying to create autonomous AI systems that operate without human oversight. Instead, They are building AI that enhances human capabilities while keeping humans in control of important decisions. This design philosophy protects against the control problems Roman describes while still delivering powerful AI capabilities to customers.
Have you thought about the possibility that this is the role of the human race, and that this happens all throughout the cosmos? Is that curious humans who thrive on innovation will ultimately create a better version of life?
I thought about it. Many people think that's the answer to Fermi paradox. There is also now a group of people looking at what they call a worthy successor. Basically, they kind of say, yep, we're going to build superintelligence. Yep, we can control it. So what properties would we like to see in those systems? How important is it that it likes art and poetry and spreads it through the universe? And to me, it's like, I don't want to give up yet. I'm not ready to decide if killers of my family and everyone will like poetry. We're still here. We're still making decisions. Let's figure out what we can do.
Well, poetry is only relevant to us because poetry is difficult to create, and it resonates with us. Poetry doesn't mean jack shit to a flower.
It's more global to me. I don't care what happens after I'm dead, my family is dead, all the humans are dead. Whatever they like poetry or not is irrelevant to me.
Right. But the point is, like, the things that we put meaning in, it's only us. A supermassive black hole doesn't give a shit about a great song.
Yeah. And they talk about some super values, super culture, super things, super intelligence would like, and it's important that they are conscious and experienced all that greatness in the universe.
But I would think that they would look at us the same way we look at chimpanzees. We would say, yeah, they're great, but don't give them guns. Yeah, they're great, but don't let them have airplanes. Don't let them make global geopolitical decisions.
So there are many reasons why they can decide that we are dangerous. We may create competing AI. We may decide we want to shut them off. So for many reasons, they would try to restrict our abilities, restrict our capabilities for sure.
Yeah, and there's no reason why they would not limit our freedoms.
If there is something only a human can do, and I don't think there is anything like that, but let's say we are conscious, we have internal experiences, and they can never get it. I don't believe it, but let's say it was true. And for some reason, they wanted to have that capability. They would need us and give us enough freedom to experience the universe, to collect those qualia, to kind of engage with what is fun about being a living human being, what makes it meaningful.
Right, but that's such an egotistical perspective, right? That we're so unique that even superintelligence would say, wow, I wish I was human. Humans have this unique quality of confusion and creativity.
There is no value in it, mostly because we can't even test for it. I have no idea if you're actually conscious or not. So how valuable can it be if I can't even detect it? Only you know what ice cream tastes like to you. Okay, that's great. Sell it now. Make a product out of it.
Right. And there's obviously variables, because there's things that people like that I think are gross.
Absolutely. So really, you can come up with some agent which likes anything or finds anything fun.
Oh, God, why are you freaking me out right away? That's the problem. This podcast is 18 minutes old, and I'm like, we could just stop right now.
Couple hours at least, and then I have to fly here.
No,
and all
I
that,
don't.
you know?
Well, I don't want to end. I have so many questions, but it's just the problem is we got off to it. We just cut to the chase right away, and the chase seems to be it's something that must be confronted, because it's right there. That's it. That's the whole thing. And I've tried so hard to listen to these people that don't think that it's a problem, and listen to these people that think that it's going to be a net positive for humanity, and oh, God's good, I feel better now. But it doesn't work. It doesn't resonate.
I wish they were right. Every time I have a debate with someone like that, I'm like, please come up with better arguments. Prove me wrong. I don't want to be right on this one. I want you to show all the mistakes in my papers. I want you to show me how to control superintelligence and give us utopia, solve cancer, give us free stuff. That's great.
Right. When you think about the future of the world, and you think about these incredible technology scaling upwards and exponentially increasing in their capability, what do you see? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
So there are many reasons to think they may cancel us for whatever reasons. We started talking about some game theoretical reasons for it. If we are successful at controlling them, I can come up with some ways to provide sort of partial solution to the value alignment problem. It's very hard to value align 8 billion people, all the animals, everyone, because we disagree. We like many different things. So we have advanced virtual reality technology. We can technically give every person their own virtual universe where you decide what you want to be. You're a king, you're a slave, whatever it is you're into, and you can share with others, you can visit their universes. All we have to do is figure out how to control the substrate, the superintelligence running all those virtual universes. And if we manage to do that, at least part of the value alignment problem, which is super difficult, how do you get different preferences, multi-objective optimization, essentially? How do you get different objectives to all agree?
But when you think about how it plays out, when like if you're alone at night and you're worried, what do you see? What do you see happening?
So there are multiple levels of risk. Immediate is what we call ikigai risk, I risk. We lose meaning. You lost your job, you're no longer the best interviewer in the world. Like, what's left? What are you going to do? Maybe some people will find some other kind of artificial things to do, but for most people, their job is their definition, who they are, what makes a difference to them. For quite a few people, especially in professional circles. So losing that meaning will have terrible impact on society. We always talk about unconditional basic income. We never talk about unconditional basic meaning. What are you doing with your life if basic needs are provided for you? Next level is existential risk. The concern is it will kill everyone. But there is also suffering risks. For whatever reason, it's not even killing us. It's keeping us around forever, and we would rather be dead. It's so bad.
What do you see when you think of that?
It's hard to be specific about what it can do and what specific ways of torture it can come up with and why. Again, if we're looking at worst case scenarios, I found this set of papers about what happens when young children have epileptic seizures, really bad ones. And what sometimes helps is to remove half of your brain.
Oh, Jesus.
Just cut it out. And there are two types of surgeries for doing that. One is to remove it completely, and one is to kind of dissect connections leading to that half and leave it inside. So it's like solitary confinement with zero input-output forever. And there are equivalents for digital forms and things like that.
And you worry that AI would do that to the human race?
It is a possibility.
Essentially neuter us.
Well, loss of control is a part of it. But you can lose control and be quite happy. You can be like an animal in a very cool zoo, enjoying yourself, engaging in hedonistic pleasures, sex, food, whatever. You're not in control, but you're safe. So those are separate problems. And then there is, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's malevolent payload from some psychopaths. Again, that would assume that they could control AI. I don't think they will. But if they manage to do it, they can really put any type of payload into it. So think about all the doomsday cults, psychopaths, anyone providing their set of goals into the system.
But aren't those human characteristics? I mean, those are characteristics that I think, if I had to guess, those exist because in the future there was some sort of a natural selection benefit to being a psychopath in the days of tribal warfare. That if you were the type of person that could sneak into a tribe in the middle of the night and slaughter innocent women and children, your genes would pass on. There was a benefit to that.
Right. So if it's a human providing payload, that's what would show up. If it's AI on its own deciding what's going to happen, I cannot predict. I'm just looking at worst case scenarios. There are also game theoretic reasons where people talk about retrocausality, where if right now...
What is that word?
like trying to influence the past.
Say it again. Say that.
Retrocausality.
Retrocausality?
Causality, causes.
Oh, okay.
So think about like weird time travel effects. Right now, if you're not helping to create superintelligence, once it comes into existence, it will punish you really hard for it. And the punishment needs to be so bad that you start to help just to avoid that.
My thought about it was that it would just completely render us benign, that it wouldn't be fearful of us if we had no control, that it would just sort of let us exist, and it would be the dominant force on the planet, and then it would stop. If human beings have no control over, all of the different things that we have control over now, like international politics, control over communication, if we have none of that anymore and we're reduced to a subsistence lifestyle, then we would be no threat.
It is a possibility. I cannot say this will not happen for sure, but look at our relationship with animals where we don't care about them. So ants. If you decide to build a house and there is an ant colony on that property, you genocide them. Right. You take them out, not because you hate ants, but because you just need that real estate. And it could be very similar. I cannot predict what it can do, but if it needs to turn the planet into fuel, raise temperature of a planet, cool it down for servers, whatever it needs to do, it wouldn't be concerned about your well-being.
It wouldn't be concerned about any life, right? Because it doesn't need biological life in order to function, as long as it has access to power. And assuming that it is far more intelligent than us, there's abundant power in the universe. There's abundant power. Just the ability to harness solar would be an infinite resource. And it would be completely free of being dependent upon any of the things that we utilize.
And again, we're kind of thinking what we would use for power.
Right.
If it's smarter than us, if it does novel research in physics, it can come up with completely novel ways of harnessing energy, getting energy. So I have no idea what side effects that would have for climate.
Right. Why would it care about biological life at all?
We don't know how to program it to care about us.
And even if we did, if it felt like that was an issue, it felt like if that was a conflicting issue, it would just change its programming.
So usually when we start training AI, we train it on human data, and it becomes really good very quickly, becomes superhuman, and then the next level is usually zero knowledge, where it goes, all your human data is biased. Let me figure it out from scratch. I'll do my own experiments. I'll do some self-play. I'll learn how to do it better without you.
That was Roman Yampolsky delivering one of the most comprehensive warnings about AI safety I've ever heard. We just listened to a leading AI researcher explain why 30% of experts think AI could destroy humanity and why even positive scenarios might involve losing human agency and meaning. Let me break down the 3 most important insights from this conversation, because Roman's analysis reveals everything about responsible AI development, the importance of human control, and why some companies will build safe AI while others create existential risks. The intelligent gap creates market opportunities for practical AI. Roman explains that superintelligence would be thousands of times smarter than humans and would come up with completely novel, more optimal ways of achieving goals than humans can predict. He compares it to squirrels trying to control humans, saying no group of squirrels can figure out how to control us even with more resources. This intelligence gap problem reveals why Palantir's practical AI strategy has such a massive market advantage. While competitors burn billions chasing artificial general intelligence that may become uncontrollable, Palantir focuses on AI tools that solve real problems today without creating existential risks. Their approach targets the huge market of organizations that want AI benefits without betting their entire business on unproven superintelligence technology. This more conservative strategy attracts risk-aware enterprise customers who need reliable AI solutions, not science experiments. By avoiding the superintelligence race, Palantir captures market share from customers who prioritize predictable results over theoretical breakthroughs. Built-in safety features create competitive advantages. Roman describes the catch-22 where you need superintelligence to create safety mechanisms to control superintelligence, and explains that you have to create safety mechanisms, scale forever, never making mistakes, and keep human in decision-making positions so we can undo something if we don't like it. This safety requirement creates a huge competitive moat for Palantir because they've already solved the problems that other AI companies will face later. Their platforms include audit trails, data lineage tracking, and explainable AI features that enterprise customers demand for compliance and risk management. While competitors rush to market with black box AI systems, Palantir's transparent architecture meets regulatory requirements and corporate governance standards from day one. This head start in AI safety and explainability becomes more valuable as regulations tighten and enterprises demand accountability from their AI systems. Companies that built safety in from the beginning will dominate over those trying to retrofit safety features into existing systems. Enterprise customers want enhancement, not replacement. Roman talks about the risk of losing meaning when AI takes over jobs, mentioning that people lose their definition of who they are when they're no longer the best at what they do. He discusses unconditional basic income, but notes we never talk about unconditional basic meaning. What people do with their lives if basic needs are provided, but they have no purpose. Again, this meaning crisis reveals why Palantir's augmentation strategy resonates so strongly with enterprise buyers. Organizations don't want technology that eliminates their workforce and destroys institutional knowledge. They want technology that makes their people more effective and valuable. Palantir's approach helps companies retain their talent while improving performance, which creates employee buy-in rather than resistance. This people-friendly positioning gives Palantir a significant sales advantage because decision makers can implement AI without facing internal opposition or union problems. While jobs creating AI creates organizational disruption and political backlash, augmentation AI gets enthusiastic adoption from both management and workers.